Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Welcome to week 2 of Principles of Marketing. And this is the week where I start forming teams. If I don't hear from anyone by tomorrow, I will start forming random draw teams, and you'll be working with whomever I put you together with. And your team assignments start next week, not this week. You have one more individual assignment. And then going into week 3, I think the rest of the way are all team assignments because you work as a marketing team doing marketing deliverables for your client. Let's cruise down here. Make sure. Oh, one thing I did do is in the past I've heard from teams that had a hard time starting the communication. So what I've done is I've opened up 5 folders. There'll be 5 teams, 6 individuals per team, maybe 5. And you can use this as your early means of communication. You can use it as your primary means of communication if you like. But some teams have used this as a starting point, then jumped off to group text or other ways to communicate. I don't really care, but I'm giving you this as a way to start the dialogue. Now, you've just finished the 2 discussion questions. They are now closed. You do not have access to discussion questions once the week is over. Also, your video introductions I'm working on today and tomorrow, along with your personal branding statements. So you should get grades by tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. Now, going into week 2, you have the marketing mix. I will tell you, when you talk about marketing, most people say the 4 Ps of marketing. It is one of the most tried and true mechanisms of evaluating a company's marketing footprint. Now, what's happened over the years, though, and then some theorists will push back, but I disagree. There are now 7 Ps, not 4 Ps. The first 4 Ps were product. This refers to what is being offered to the customer. Obviously, the product and or service. The price is the amount of money customers must pay, but also it's a strategy in the pricing. Some people get really confused that it's just the price point. No, is it competitive pricing? Is it prestige pricing? Is it loss leader pricing? There's so many different pricing models out there. Place, also known as distribution, this involves how the product will be delivered. And you can see how place has changed so dramatically over the years because you have all this e-commerce purchasing. You have a lot of double-sided marketplaces happening. So place is very dynamic. Promotion, this encompasses the ways the communication to the customer about the product. Some people call this also advertising, personal selling, public relations, all the different means of getting the message out. Those were the top 4 for decades. But in the most recent years, 3 more Ps have been added to the mix. 1, people, and I think that's an injustice that people weren't part of the equation early on. This involves everyone who plays a part in delivering the product or service. This is also how the culture of a business feels when you're engaging with the business. The quality of interaction between staff and customers and so forth. Then process refers to the procedural mechanisms and flow of activities by which a service is delivered. See, product for the longest time was just buying a phone or a mouse for your computer or a pocket knife. Now, process explains the process of delivery when you're selling the invisible, selling a service. And physical evidence, this pertains to the environment in which the service is delivered and any tangible components. This can include the physical environment, brochures, websites. I also call this the 5 senses of purchasing. Physical evidence is the smell when I walk into a bakery, the music, that's ambiance music when I walk into a restaurant, those types of things. So what you're going to do for this assignment is a strategy used to, the marketing mix here is students, in this individual assignment now, it used to be a team assignment, will choose a product or service of choice and conduct a marketing mix assessment. It could be anything you purchase. It could be where you get your clothing at. It could get where your electronics from. Maybe if you're a biker, where you get your bike gear from. Whatever it might be. For this assignment, students will be using the more progressive 7-step evaluation model of these 7. So you're going to look at all 7, and then you're going to make a conclusion or recommendation of your findings. Now, what I do with all assignments, when I have it available, I'll give you an example. And here is the example that I've received recently. Really good work. Oops, got to open it up here. Sorry about this. I thought it was already open. I think I'm going to load that a different way. Let me see if I can get to it over here. It's coming up. Sorry, folks. Hang in there. Maybe it's it. Yeah, here it is. So now I've found it on my hard drive. This team was evaluating Luna's ice cream marketing mix. Now I also want to take away the look and feel of this assignment. I do not want a college written paper. If you deliver a college written paper in this assignment, I will deduct points significantly. You want it to be something that jumps off the page. You want rich content. You want some creativity. And you want something that's visually appealing. And this is going to be something that somebody looks at. If you wrote a college written paper, all text, 3 pages, you're going to be hard pressed to get any decision maker to read through all of it. But if you're doing an assessment like this, now you're taking your work to the next level. So the product, they looked at just the product of the ice cream. Then they looked at and this is an individual assignment now, so I'm expecting the same level of work as an individual. Then they looked at the pricing model that they were using, the place, physical location, contacts, the people that create the culture, the promotion, the process, physical evidence, and conclusions, recommendations, and suggestions. This is superior. So please strive for this in all your work. So I'm going to say it one more time that all the work in this class should look like that. And as you approach different assignments, you're going to have different branding feels to it because it's a different brand you're working with. But you want to have it something that pops off the page. Because when I see something of that nature, I want to read the whole document. I'm not going to be labored down by going, oh gosh, there's 4 or 5 pages of just hard text. We don't have the attention spans for that. We want something to give us a story feel to it as much as a content feel. I hope that makes sense. So once I form teams, though, in week 3, we start with a team assignment called market segmentation analysis. So get ready for that. We're going to juggle 2 things. You got an individual assignment this week, but start contacting your teams and deciding how you're going to approach the team assignments. Because after market segmentation, we jump into client journey storytelling. And that is a tough assignment, I'll be honest with you there. So here we go. We're in the term now. It's no more just wading into the pool with week 1. If you have any questions, reach out.